life. Ladies and gentlemen, Theresa Breach. Come on now, she's really nervous. No, she's not. But she's very tall. She'll probably kick my ass. Jesus.
Y'all can give Mark a big hand. I'll wait.
Theresa, grab hold of here.
Press it in. There you go. Press it. Press it.
There you go.
That was all part of it. They didn't laugh. They didn't get it. Press what? Okay, good. Just off.
I did not participate in that little accolade to Mark Lux because he single-handedly tried to ruin my whole experience tonight. I had this really cool little squad all worked out. I was going to be like Jeff Dunham, you know, the guy with the dummies, the dolls. And Mark said, yeah, I'm too big of a dummy to sit on your lap. I tried very, very hard, truly, to convince Mark that he was not too big of a dummy to sit on my lap. But he insisted. So now you're all stuck with me, and if I'm not funny, you can all blame frickin' Mark.
You can say what?
I don't swear. Actually, that was me, because I kind of do like Mark. Not as much as Mark likes Mark, but I like Mark. And we do have a few things in common. We are Catholic, and we work at the same company, and we are one of 13 children. Since I don't see a lot of Amish people here, most of you don't even know what it's like to have more children in your family than you have fingers on both freaking hands. Alright, well, Mark, of course, is the privileged, pampered, spoiled, frickin' rotten youngest baby of the family. I am not. I am number 10. 10. By the time the 10th child is born, every good label is gone. The oldest one, the happy one, the pretty one, the smart one. There is nothing left. Especially when the 11th child died. So therefore, I can't even be the one that died. There's nothing left. I had to be the bad one. And I have worked very hard all my life to live up to that label. I have bad habits, I have bad behavior, and I have really, really bad decision-making capability. I am actually the queen of bad decisions. I used to be the acid queen, but then I got older and then you're not allowed to have that much fun, and besides that, you can't find really good shit anymore. My career as the bad child started very young. I was like 13, and I was like dating this really, well, I was really dating him. I was like sneaking out to date him. He was a lot older than I was, and my mom didn't know. And one Thanksgiving, I was trying to get the dishes done quickly, because he was waiting for me in the back alley. And my sister, I won't name her, she's a year older than I am. Thank you. She knew I wanted to go meet this guy, so she was digging around. And I was getting really pissy with her, so I threw water on her. And then I turned my back to the sink, and she picked up a butcher knife off the kitchen table and threw it at me. And I honestly don't think she meant to hit me in the middle of the back like she did. And it stuck. Well, then she comes running over to the kitchen sink to make sure I'm not dying. And I did, you know, the only logical thing. I picked up the closest thing in my hand and I hit her in the face with it, and unfortunately, it was a cast iron skillet, and I broke her nose. So then, as she's screaming and bleeding, my mother comes in and sees her all screaming and bleeding, and she doesn't see the knife in my back, and she comes over and she starts to hit me. And I'm trying to tell her there's a knife in my back. So I never got to go out with the guy because we both spent the day in the emergency room. So then, a couple years later, same guy, 15, and here's another good one, because I hold the I hold the record for the number of suspensions in 1 year. I was suspended 11 times in 11th grade. Johnstown High School, nobody's broken that record. Thank you very much. But anyhow, when I was 15, the guy was 25, and I was very popular because he could buy us beer. So, for my 16th birthday, we decided to have this party on Dishon Mountain. If anybody knows where Dishon Mountain is, everybody party there. So, you know, I wasn't the smart one in the family. And I should have realized that my mother had 9 older children that had probably planned the party that she found out about. So she found out about the party. And she called my cousin Joe, who was a cop at Johnstown Police Department. And she had my party busted. And in my mother's infinite sensitive wisdom, she decided to let everybody go. Except me. Me, she sent to jail. And I had to stay there until the next day when she came to pick me up. Now that's not funny, but I told you that story because I have to tell you this one. 4 years later, I married, you know, the much older guy right out of high school, and that freaking marriage was going down the tubes really quick. And I was pregnant, and I was spending a lot of time at my mom's house. And my little sister Tina, pretty, redhead, voluptuous, sweet, everybody loved her, I hated her fucking guts. She was graduating high school. And my mom decided she was going to let her have a cake party at the freaking house. So there we are, we're sitting in the living room, we're watching like Lawrence Welk or Hee-Haw or whatever stupid shit the old woman liked to watch. And my mom says, I'm going to bed. You stay here and watch these children. Alright, okay. She goes up to bed, I hear that door close, I turned up the TV, I forgot those damn kids were there. Until, not 5 minutes later, wafting from the kitchen was the pungent smell of cannabis. And I started to smile, because I knew she was going to smell it, and I knew she was going to know what it was, and I knew she was going to freak out, and it wasn't going to be on me. I waited. I hear my mom's bedroom door open, and her tiny little, because she's a tiny little person, tiny little footsteps, and she comes to the top of the stair steps, and I'm like, here it comes, and she yells down the steps, if you're going to smoke that shit, at least go outside. So I pulled my very pregnant person body up the steps I go, and I go into my mom's room, and she's just getting back into bed. And I'm like, Mom, what the, you know, you sent me to jail for drinking beer. They're downstairs smoking illegal drugs, and you're not going to do anything? And she said, Theresa, Pauline, and she looked me in the eyes, and that's hard because she was only this tall. She said, times have changed. And then she took me by the elbow and she walked me out of her room and she shut her door in my face. So, I made another bad decision. I went downstairs and I called my cousin Joe. And I said, Joe, Tina's having an underage drinking party at my mother's house right now. And I think there may be drugs here. And he came to the house and he called all those kids' parents and they came and picked them up and he let them all go. And took me to jail for hosting an underage drinking party. Bad decisions. I can't help making them. I think they're part of my life. Like, you know, this haircut. You know. I'll tell you one more bad decision before I leave. I had a wonderful dog. I had him before her for 14 years. She lasted longer than all 3 of my marriages combined. I had to put her down last year because she was old. I said, I'm never, ever, ever getting another dog that hurt too much. A couple of months later, found myself getting fat because I didn't have anything to do. Didn't couldn't walk, didn't have no dog to walk. All right, I started looking for another dog. And at the Humane Society, on their website, they had this beautiful 140-pound Great Dane. Her name was Amelia. So I went up to see her. I took her for a walk. I played with her. I'm like, oh, I want this dog. But I thought, okay, you're older now. Man, that's a big responsibility. That's a lot of shit to clean up. I would go, think about it. I go home. Next morning, 9 o'clock in the morning, I run up to Humane Society. The sign on the window says they don't open until 12. So I sit for 3 hours. They finally open up. I go in. I want this dog. That dog is gone. Somebody adopted it right after I left. I'm dejected. I am sad. I'm walking out of there. And somehow, this little black, tangled mass of crappy looking hair jumped up in my arms. And I took it home. I live in Old Colombo Borough. It is a very bad neighborhood. It is really hard to walk a fucking poodle. With the Rottweilers and Doberman pictures and German Shepherds. Especially when this little shit thing is afraid of everything. It looks in the mirror and runs the other way. It's afraid of my cat. The only thing it's not afraid of is me. And it is up my ass 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I can't leave the house. I can't go pee for myself, nothing. But I love him. I love him. He loves me. He's so excited when I come home. But I understand now why people had prejudice against poodles. They are not good dogs. They're just not good dogs. So I want to thank everybody for laughing a little bit. If you didn't laugh,